Okay, so at this point in my career, I've now worked with multiple six-figure earners, seven-figure earners, and eight-figure earners to optimize their biochemistry. So essentially how we optimize their energy and IQ, as a result of that, then equating in further business success. And I can tell you as a matter of fact that those who pay attention to the topics that I work with them for, when it comes to their nutrition, sleep protocols, mindset protocols, and then from their training protocols, have further success and more longevity when it comes to business. So what I want to talk to you guys about today is how we optimize your energy and IQ, and obviously that equates to further business success and output day to day. Okay, so for the majority of individuals working in the online space, whether it be in digital marketing businesses, e-commerce businesses, real estate, whatever it may be, guys, realistically, we sat at this desk like myself for 6 to 12 hours per day working, okay? And what we're looking to achieve here is how we can optimize those work blocks to make sure you get the most done in that time, and then from there generate the most income in that space at the same time, okay? Now, what I want to talk to you guys about in particular is willpower and focus and the variables which contribute to that. In particular, in this instance, inflammation and brain fog. So for those of you that aren't aware of what inflammation is, you probably had like a shitty burger at some point, or you've had some awful food or alcohol. You've woken up the next day, you feel fairly inflamed in your body, and then from there you suffer from a degree of brain fog where you wake up, your head's completely foggy, you can't have a straight thought, there's no clarity when it comes to your work. The day is totally ruined, and that's what we're looking to minimize at all costs in the first part of this video, okay? So we're going to be talking about how we get in better mental shape, and the fact that your impactful work is what's going to move your business further forward, and we're going to have to avoid inflammation by doing that, okay? So I'm going to refer to my notes at the beginning of this video. Now, when it comes to avoiding inflammation at all costs, and then from there minimizing brain fog, first and foremost, we're talking about how we optimize your gut health, nutrient absorption, and then from there also prebiotics, probiotics, and polyphenols, okay? So for those of you that aren't aware, some of the work that I do with my clients is I optimize their gut health and nutrition systems. And I do that by testing their gut performance. So primarily through a stool test, which is from this company called Viome, okay? So what a stool test is, basically you actually shit on a pad and you send it off to America, they test your gut health and make you aware of the food sources that cause inflammation in your system, which make you feel like you're compromising your performance day to day. Okay, so as an example of that, I actually can't eat grass-fed butter, nor can I eat grass-fed meat for myself as an individual because my gut simply can't cope with that currently. So from there I then currently utilize prebiotics and polyphenols to then optimize my gut performance and make sure I avoid inflammation at all costs, okay? So we have to talk about inflammation and reducing brain fog, first and foremost in today's video, optimizing nutrition absorption, and how exactly we tackle that, okay? Optimizing nutrition absorption, understanding the disaster of your phone and multitasking and how it's going to ruin your business long term. Maximizing sleep recovery, hence my wearing of my Oura ring. If you guys aren't aware of what that is, I'll talk to you about that later. Maximizing wake up time and then daily energy, and also environment. So first and foremost, the first topic I'd like to dive into is going to be inflammation and brain fog. So if you guys aren't aware of what I'm referring to here when I'm talking about inflammation and brain fog, I'll break it down in simple terms. So at some point you would have woken up first thing in the morning having eaten like a burger for dinner or been out partying, had some alcohol, and you wake up and you feel like your body's just like burning, or you feel like there's a degree of inflammation and water being held on top of your skin. As a result of that, your brain is totally foggy, you can't have one single clear thought, and your work and your output is absolutely shot. So as a young guy myself, I'm 21 and based in London. Anyone who's based in that situation would have experienced this where they've been out, they're hungover, their work is awful. It's terrible, so poor. So we can talk about how we avoid that and how we avoid inflammation and brain fog. Okay, so inflammation is the number one cause of brain fog, and inflammation is essentially your body fighting things which shouldn't be in your body, okay? Or poor substances, and then from there, poor nutrition sources also, okay? So brain fog is going to equate to poor work. So as I referred to earlier, if you guys have had alcohol, you guys have had really poor food, you started eating breakfast, lunch and dinner, you've had 5 meals in between that point also, your work and your productivity is extremely minimal. And obviously in terms of business success, your work output has to be incredibly high because meaningful work is what's going to push your business further forward. Doing monotonous tasks and stupid tasks, which obviously you're putting in the hours, but you're not exactly being productive in, will only move your business further forward a minimal amount. So next topic at hand is going to be nutrient absorption and also meal timing. So for those of you that are aware of my work or the work I do with my clients, as I said, I work with now multiple 6-figure earners, 7-figure earners, and 8-figure earners at that point in e-commerce as well, which is actually insane. But one of the protocols I put in place for my clients is intermittent fasting to regulate their blood sugars as best as possible. So For those of you that aren't aware of what intermittent fasting is very simple. We're essentially minimizing your eating window to mainly 6 to 8 hours per day to avoid blood sugars from spiking and then from there crashing day to day. So that's gonna be one of the key concepts you guys have to put in place when it comes to nutrition absorption, and then from there making sure that food sources you are consuming are being optimized by the body, and also when it comes to your mental function in terms of minimizing brain fog as well. Okay, so bad food is literally shit not getting to your brain, and as a result that your brain's not be working correctly. So similarly to how you want to fuel your car with the best petrol, you want to apply that system when it comes to nutrient absorption to your body and obviously your physical being as well. Okay, again, if you guys have had bad food like burgers, McDonald's, whatever it may be, you realize that your quality of work is very minimal, and then from there also your IQ and your intellect is nowhere near capacity. Okay, and if you guys go into competition with fellow entrepreneurs, because at this point now there's so many entrepreneurs in digital marketing space, e-commerce space, real estate space, whatever it may be. Okay, if you guys compete with individuals that are eating crap food, not taking care of their sleep, not taking care of their nutrient absorption, inflammation, brain fog, you're just going to win by default just by turning up quite literally at that point. Because in regards to your cognitive function, be much more sharp, energy, output, efficiency, everything is going to be maximized as opposed to those guys who are kind of sitting there almost like brain dead at that point. Okay, so first and foremost, you want to be taking a nutrient deficiency test. So similar to how I referred to the stool test earlier with Viome, you can take a nutrient deficiency test with a blood test, okay, making you aware of which vitamins you should be consuming more of or from their nutrient sources. Okay, so one of my main concepts in terms of the approach I apply with my clients is avoiding excessive carbohydrate intake, okay, in regards to a nutrient source. So from there, my clients tend to break their fast in a very simple manner by normally like 12 p.m. or from there 2 p.m. as well. And I'll break their fast with primary protein sources, fat sources, and then from there also moderate fibrous green vegetables. So something like salmon, which I normally cook in olive oil, okay? From there halloumi, and then from there something like spinach and broccoli would be a great idea to break your fast. Obviously, very minimal carbohydrates as nutrients there. And then from there in the evening, consume more carbohydrates, which I'll talk to you about later as well. Okay, so you can also take a side-by breath test, and then from there an absorption analysis in regards to telling you what food sources you're being absorbed well, which food sources are going to crap. Okay, eating slows you down, hence why I suggest fasting until either 12 p.m. or from there 6 p.m. at night as well. Okay, if you can, only try and eat once per day. It's something that I'm working towards currently. It's difficult. At most, eat twice per day. So either more towards noon or from there as far back as you can, so maybe more towards 2 p.m. And then from there, your last meal being between 4 to 2 hours out from your sleep start time. Very, very easy. I mean, there's so much more we could talk about on this topic. I'm going to keep it nice and simple for you guys so you have it in almost layman's terms. So we talked about brain fog and inflammation. We now talked about nutrient absorption. The next topic at hand is going to be my diet. Okay, so I keep it super simple, guys. I keep it very simple on a day-to-day basis. I almost repeat what I'm eating every single day without fail. Okay, so in terms of my list of food sources, I consume salmon and sea bass, meat sources, olive oil, MCT oil as well at this point, fibrous green vegetables, carbohydrate sources like rice, for example, or something like oats, for example, as well. And then from there, Huel. So I'm actually going to quickly hop off camera and I'm going to show you guys what Huel is. Okay, so this is Huel, and essentially this is a product which is like a meal replacement, and I'm not a massive fan of them at all until I came across Huel as a product. So if I read out the ingredient profile, you see the reason as to why. So it has oats, pea protein, flax seeds, brown rice protein, instant coffee powder, MCT powder, and then from there natural vanilla flavorings as well. So in regards to a nutrient standpoint, this is awesome. Also in regards to a vitamin standpoint, again, it ticks off all the boxes. So vitamin A, vitamin D, vitamin E, K, C, thiamine, vitamin B6, potassium, chloride, calcium, it ticks off all the boxes. So if you could even have this like 4 times per day, quite frankly. Again, I wouldn't suggest breaking your fast with a carbohydrate source like this, because in terms of macros, we have 12.9 grams of fat, carbohydrates 40, so it's quite high, and then from there protein at 29 grams. So I wouldn't necessarily suggest that first thing, but if you're looking to then obviously work consistently and then from there have a quick meal on the go, you can utilize something like Huel as well. It's something I advocate for all my clients and something that I'm a massive fan of actually. Okay, cool. Now, next topic at hand is going to be sleep recovery. So again, this is one of my main focus points for all clients that I work with. I think when it comes to hacking your biochemistry from a hormonal standpoint, a cognitive standpoint, and a physical standpoint, sleep recovery is the most important piece of that puzzle or that equation. So simple, okay? So this is going to be essential to clearing out inflammation and mental acuity. Okay, And essentially, if you have bad sleep in regards to your business function and performance, you're fucked, okay? And most entrepreneurs at that point, they're bankrupt when it comes to their sleep and the debt they've acquired when it comes to their sleep, very, very simply, okay? So I'm gonna refer to notes because otherwise I'm gonna end up rambling on this topic because it's something I'm so passionate about, but I want to talk to you guys about phases of sleep and how I look to optimize that and also analyze that, okay? So first and foremost, we have light sleep, which does very little, okay? So most individuals in the entrepreneurship space are massive advocates of someone like Gary Vee, for example, and who follows the whole concept of grinding to your dead and sleeping like almost never ever, maybe 2 hours per day, 4 hours per day, whatever it may be. It's minimal amounts and they look half dead as well. As a result of that, their business is probably failing and they probably obtain more light sleep than the individuals that I work with, okay? From there, we then move into REM. Now, REM is hugely important because it really energizes your mind and your body and should be roughly 30% of your sleep duration, or should be equating to roughly 30% of your sleep duration, okay? Again, REM is so important when it comes to emotional well-being, cognitive function, memory function from the previous day, and then from there, how you perform in regards to emotional well-being and, as I said, brain function day to day, okay? From there, then also have deep sleep, which is the most restorative state of sleep when it comes to physical well-being and recovery, okay? So those are 3 stages of sleep I want to refer to. One final metric I want to discuss is also HRV. Okay, so essentially heart rate variability is what that is implying, or what that is referring to, okay? And this is referring to our autonomic nervous system. So HRV is gonna be indicative of whether we're in a fight or flight mode. So basically whether we can deal with more stress from work or whether we should simply taper off and then from there minimize the amount of workload we're putting ourselves under and also the amount of physical stress we're putting ourselves under, okay? So the way we can look to further improve our HRV, and it's something that all the clients that I work with at first really struggle with because they're pushing themselves so hard to the edge of their businesses, where if they continue to do so, they're going to crash. Hence why they're now working with me. And that's what we want to, minimize at all costs. We want them to be in a state where they're readily functioning and they can optimize their productivity and output by optimizing their HRV. So the way we can optimize your HRV is by looking at quality of sleep, meditation, hydration, exercise, stresses when it comes to social stresses and work stresses, and then from there also illness, okay? And also what I refer to as adaptogens have a massive difference on this as well, so they benefit you massively. So adaptogens being something like a mushroom reishi spore, something like that, rhodiola rosea, or from there ashwagandha as well, okay? So you can have that as an oil or either as like a herbal tea. I advise that for all of my clients as well when it comes to maximizing their fight or flight state, and then from there, their central nervous system. Okay, so the higher your HRV will be, and the more you focus on that topic or that variable, the better your body composition will be, the better your brain function will be, and the better your performance will be. Okay, now when it comes to tracking these metrics and when it comes to tracking these stages of sleep like I refer to, I currently work with Aura as a company. Okay, so this is an Aura ring here. It tracks all of my sleep metrics every night and every day, and then from there I get feedback on that in regards to how well I'm performing. Same as my clients, so I can see exactly what they're doing. I can see, for example, if their sleep duration is 8 hours but their efficiency is very poor, I can see exactly what that means and how we can then maximize that when it comes to essentially removing that debt or that bankruptcy that they're experiencing when it comes to their sleep, and then from there ensuring that it's at a higher level where they gain abundance of wealth when it comes to their sleep, and their business performance is sky high as a result. So you guys would know firsthand if you had a night of like 4 hours sleep, or you've worked till extremely late hours in the night, the next day your work is shot. There's no way you can be productive. Your client meetings go to crap. Your engagement on Slack, on email, whatever it may be, or for your business decisions, they're terrible. So at that point, they were looking to maximize this. Okay, now to wrap this video up, I want to keep it very simple and break down the topics I want you guys to be working on moving forward so you can hit the 6-figure, 7-figure, and 8-figure mark when it comes to your business, similarly to the way my clients are doing so. Okay, so first and foremost, don't go crazy in terms of supplements. Keep it very, very simple. I'd largely advise adaptogens, so something like rhodiola rosea, reishi spore, and then from there maybe ashwagandha as well. Nothing too extensive when it comes to, for example, melatonin use or anything like that, okay? And certainly not supplementing the food source you're consuming. Your diet should represent the majority of food source you're consuming and the nutrients you're also absorbing in your body, okay? To avoid inflammation and brain fog as well. So don't rely on supplements. I don't want to see you guys having like a drawer of 30 supplements and pulling that out. That's the last thing you should be focusing on, okay? Keep it simple. Supplements tend to never be as effective as the individuals who take them expect them to be, okay? Especially when it comes to their sleep performance. Like I've had clients ask me about taking every single supplement under the sun, and realistically, all you need to be doing is focusing on these simple basics, protocols moving forward. Okay, so what you want to do next is test for toxic shit in your system. Either have a SIBO test, a cortisol test, a stool test like the Viome test here. A cortisol test being really important, you can get as a blood test, and then from there fix those issues straight away. Okay, so if you see you have a leaky gut, or if you see you have any gut related issues and inflammation, which is extreme, fix it straight away. Work with someone like myself or from there seek consultancy on that matter to avoid that at all costs. Because again, the state of your gut is going to be represented in the state of your brain and the decisions you make in terms of inflammation and brain fog. Get that fixed straight away, okay? Thirdly, get quality light exposure. Something which is so simple, but is hugely neglected by entrepreneurs who work at home or in the digital space, okay? Because often you wake up, you complete your basic morning routine, and then from there you simply avoid sunlight at all costs. Like, that looks like something which is very unfamiliar to most individuals, okay? You want to be maximizing sunlight at all costs, okay? Especially when it comes to your sleep quality and regulating your circadian rhythm. Light being a massive indicator of when you should start your sleep and when you should end your sleep. And if we're under, obviously, blue light sources like this light source I'm filming under right now, our sleep quality is going to be impaired. Okay, so make sure you get quality light exposure daily, or from there utilize something else like a Juve red light tool, which I have in my apartment. I'll probably show you later in the video as well, okay? Eliminate blue light from your life. Very simple. So the blue light sources present in my flat right now are pretty obvious. I have a light source here filming for ready for my filming. It's horrible when it comes to blue light, and we're going to look to avoid at all costs when it comes to maximizing your sleep quality, also inflammation, and then from there how you feel day to day when it comes to your physical well-being. Okay, so as you guys can see, I don't actually wear glasses. These are my blue light blockers. I wear these past 12 p.m. when I'm working on my laptop, or from there in a source which has blue lights, like my apartment, for example. I can't change these fittings. It's a rented apartment. It's a pain in the ass. Or from there, if I'm working late into the evening, I wear these bad boys, which is the first time I'm showing these on camera because I look like a freak. It is these glasses. These are sometimes something I wear past 5 p.m. Okay, so they're going to replicate a sunset as well, making my body aware of the time it should be producing melatonin more so and get myself in a sleep-ready state. Okay, very simple. Last two topics is going to be exercise. So exercising frequently is going to be hugely important when it comes to emotional well-being, physical well-being. HRV is a metric and avoiding inflammation. Okay, and then from there, finally, meditate. Okay, especially when it comes to your sleep quality, it's going to be very important. I personally meditate twice per day first thing when I'm in front of my G red light tool, and then from there also in the evening when I'm completing my evening routine. So you guys, yeah, as a whole, this video is primarily going to be referring to how you optimize your energy and IQ in terms of performance with your business, and the reason as to why it's so important and how it's benefited the lives of my 6-figure clients, 7-figure clients, and 8-figure clients. And yeah, you guys can have all the business strategies in the world. You can buy all the courses you want, like Sam Evans, whoever it may be. You can purchase all of those courses. If you can't optimize your physical well-being and your emotional well-being, mental well-being, there's no way you can make good decisions with your business and perform at a very high level. You'll simply be at hygiene standard level. You'll be nowhere near the max capacity you should be. And if you guys are watching the individuals that are doing 100K a month, 200K a month, whatever it may be, they are tackling all of these topics by working with people like myself or taking care of it themselves. Okay, very simple. So to summarize again, we'll be focusing on inflammation and brain fog, nutrient absorption, diet, sleep recovery, and then from there, finally, phases of sleep and how we keep that process simple, okay? Hope you guys enjoyed the video. I'm gonna be dumping into more videos moving forward as well.